Hi villaging friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I finished up my Halloween village and now I'm working towards my Christmas village that I'm calling Holiday Hills. This is a completely new platform build for 2025. And part of this platform build is going to have a brewery overlooking a small township. For that brewery, I have chosen the Carrolltown, or Lemax, Yulesteiner Brewery. I really like this piece. There's a lot going on for it, but this one's broken. So come join me as I make the mistakes that you don't have to repair this piece. Here is my Yulesteiner Brewery that I picked up on eBay with known issues. So let me power this on and let's see what the actual issues are. Alright, looking at the top center, the barrels and the gnomes are not spinning. The barrels over to the right appear to be sticking a little bit and or hitting each other. Now I have seen a previous video from the Random Junk channel going over the repair on this dealing with the barrels, but this top centerpiece, that's going to be new. Let's get started by removing the base. The first step in the repair process is going to be to remove the foam backing on the base of the brewery. This will allow us to access the internals of it. Simply pulling at the corner, the backing is actually coming off pretty easily, which is to be expected from a piece that was manufactured in 2014. 11 years later, that glue is not holding up as well as it would be if it were brand new. I'm going to be using a razor knife to go around the edges where I'm pulling if I feel resistance, to just simply scour at the glue and pull the backing down. As you can see, we have our internals that I have my fingers on right now. That's going to be the part that's going to be coming out. And that is a epic amount of hot glue used on this. Go ahead and scour the bottom part of the pad and continue to pull down lightly. I've almost got this off. It's a much easier process than anticipated. Now keep in mind, if you're using the razor knife, be careful as there are wires, as you can see here. Now we need to remove the internals of this piece. Due to the age of the piece, I'm not going to apply heat yet to the base. I'm just going to use my pick tool to see if the glue is truly functional still, or if I can just pull it apart. And right now, this is already coming apart much easier than I had anticipated. The part on the far right hand side, it was not coming out. And as you can see with my hand, the barrels were actually a problem there. So I had to remove those. That's just a simple pull up. Now, this part just comes right out. While I'm removing this, I'm taking care not to knock the piece around too much and to not get it bound up on anything. I want to make sure if there's any parts that fall out, I can see what they are. Now reaching in, there is a circuit board that I just disconnected the centerpiece from, where all of our internal mechanisms are going to be contained. With the internal mechanism removed, we can now inspect the damage. Looking at the internal mechanism on this, we know that the top doesn't spin, and I already see a problem right here. That gear is not where it's supposed to be, and it is firm, so this could be a broken gear or something else. We'll have to get the top off and inspect that. Now, trying to pull this apart, I am going to have to take the screws, it looks like, out of the base in order to accomplish this. I don't see any other immediate damage. Now, looking over here where the barrels connect, we have two gears and we'll definitely have to pull them out to see what the damage or whatever issue is going on there. There is some black gunk in there. Not entirely sure what that is, but we'll get that cleaned up as well. I'm going to set this down and start disassembling it from the top down. There are 3 screws in the very top for this large centric gear. I'm going to be removing those. I'm using a number 1 Phillips head precision screwdriver for this. These screws actually seem a little bit loose or not very tight. I wonder if there's a specific torque on them that I'm not aware of, but we'll find out later. Now, pulling this up, everything looks to be perfectly fine on the piece itself. I don't see any broken gears or any gunk in there. That's great. Now, looking at this, there is a problem. The gear and its drive shaft are just off to the side, so it looks like it just got popped out somehow. So maybe this piece took a hard hit or something. It's hard to say, because the pin just basically sits in a hole in the plastic. Now, looking at the gear, it doesn't appear to be stripped or broken, which is phenomenal. So we can work to put this back together. I'm not sure if this should be tapped into place or not, or if it just sits. So I'm going to just put it in place. Once I get it in there. This has actually a fair amount of grease on it, which is surprising being this high up in the piece. Let's continue with the breakdown. I'm going to remove these 2 screws here and set them aside. This should allow the top piece to come completely apart. Alright, that set aside. There's no issues with the shaft or the gear here, so that is phenomenal. Everything seems to be held together pretty well. You can see how the wire is kind of woven back in here to hold everything in place. We'll definitely be putting that back later. But we have the screws on the bottom that I need to take out in order to access the internal drive components, including the motor, belt, and other gears. First thing I'm going to start with is over here where the barrels are at. I'm just going to work my way around and remove all of the screws. Now, the screws on the edge are one size, and there are 3 screws that are recessed, and those appear to be a slightly larger size screw. So I want to make sure I keep those separated so I can put this back together properly. I'm really excited to have this piece for my Christmas village this year, and I find it actually kind of to be a funny piece, as it is a Christmas piece, you know, with the name of Yule, the name of the brewery. There's no other real Christmas accoutrement or decoration on the piece whatsoever. So this piece will definitely have to be dressed up for the Christmas village. I've got some really fun ideas to dress up this piece for Christmas, including miniature garlands, some multicolored lights, and some other things as well. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And I've also got a couple of other pieces that are going to be redressed for the Christmas season. I'm certainly one of those people, if I buy it, I could never leave well enough alone, and I am going to put my own twist and touch on it. So absolutely everything's going to have some sort of special accessory with it. Now that all the screws are removed, I should be able to separate this base plate from the other parts of this. I'm just going to actually set it down and apply pressure to kind of pop it upward. Okay, it's starting to come apart. I did get all of my screws out. Boy, that piece is in there tight. Alright, perfect. So that is now up, and our standoffs for our barrels have fallen off to the side. Now, there appears to be absolutely no issues with this piece whatsoever. Everything looks great. There's no excess grease, anything bound up in there, or any debris. Now, let's take a look at our drive mechanisms. We have our motor driving a belt, looks like, and a series of gears. Now, these gears look to be perfectly fine. I don't see any issues there whatsoever. Oh, found a bug. Alright. Everything looks perfectly fine here. Let's take a quick look at the gears used on the barrels. Looking these over, the gear on the right looks to be perfectly fine, and there's the problem. This is going to be the root cause for why the barrels are not spinning properly and are hitting or just jittery. That gear will have to be replaced. Now looking at this gear, that appears to be a T10 gear, and that's just counting the teeth going around it. With our broken gear identified, it's time to remove it from the drive shaft and replace it with a new T10 gear. I'm just going to use a pair of pliers to simply hold this broken one and just pull it right off that drive shaft and set it aside. Now I do have a new gear, and this one is slightly larger for height, but same internal diameter. Now I'm going to have to punch this gear onto the drive shaft, and what I'm going to do is on my bench I have a space between the two pieces of wood. I'm simply going to start this on the table by using the back end of my screwdriver and hammering it in. Then I'll move it over to that open gap and tap with the back of my screwdriver. Then I'll rotate it a little bit and continue tapping until it reaches the proper mounting point. Once it's in place, it can go back into the unit. So as you can see here, there is a difference in height. Now this may cause an issue, it may not, depending on the clearances. I think at the worst case scenario, it may cause a squeak. And I can come back in here later and change that up once I can find a better gear. This is the only T10 I had on hand at this time. Checking the orientation, everything is almost back where it should be. I'm just going to tap that on just a little bit more. The orientation looks great, so now we can move on to reassembling the lower gear components. I'm going to go ahead and get the lower gears reassembled on this piece. And to do this, I'm going to have to feed the drive shafts that are on the right for the wiggling barrels up through this base plate. Now what I'm going to do is actually just put them on and then put them in place. Then I can compress this gray piece down to the white plate. And I want to go ahead and put the centerpiece with the moving bottles back into place so we can move on to the next part of this, which is going to be addressing the gear on the top part. Before we get to that, as we see here, I've got everything in place. The gears are lined up. I will need to refeed the wires on the back. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the top plate on. With the drive shaft for the top gear, I'm not entirely sure if it is supposed to be punched into place or if it just sits in place. So I did just tap it in with my screwdriver. See if that'll have any effect whatsoever. I'm going to go ahead and get the last two screws in for this. Just want to go ahead and make sure everything is nice and seated properly before I flip this over and put the original screws back in the base. Now again, there were 3 screws that are for the recessed holes. Those are a larger screw than the ones that go around the sides. Now, because that T10 gear is going to be a little bit bigger than the original, I'm probably going to have a small offset somewhere with the screws. So I am not going to be torquing these down to as hard as I can. There's going to be a little bit of play in order for me to get the plate in correctly. If you have this piece or have done a repair on this piece, I'd love to hear from you in the comments what your experience was with it. So far, this has been a pretty interesting one for me. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pick off any remaining excess glue. All of my screws are in place. And then we can flip this over and see how it looks. Alright, this looks like it's going to work. Now I'm going to have to loosen this a little bit. It is just a little too tight. The offset of that T10 gear has caused definitely some play within the assembly itself, so I'm having to go through and adjust the screws accordingly. I need that top gear to be properly centered, and once that is properly centered, then we can move on to the next step of this. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step of working with our second problem, the gear that's not seated. I put the gear standoff or drive shaft back into place and put the gear where it needs to be. Everything is lining up very well. Now putting the barrels with the gnome on, this should fit pretty easily. Now there are 3 points for where the lid goes into place, and lighting these up is actually a little bit of a challenge, or at least it was for me. As you can see, the 3 holes for the screws are in a unique position. They're not equal. So I had to make sure I got it correctly, and I thought I did each time, but I did not. So it was about 3 or 4 attempts before we finally get to this point. I have finally been able to get that top plate to line up correctly and get the screws in place. Now while I'm tightening these screws down, because when I was taking it apart they were a little bit loose, I'm not doing them super tight. I'm afraid that I might actually compress it down too much and the top piece won't spin. With this piece reassembled, let's plug it back into the circuit board for a quick test. Wouldn't you know, I plug it in and I turn it on and the top piece does not move in the slightest. So it looks like I have the screws too tight for this top plate. So I'm just going to loosen them up 1 or 2 turns each. And there we go. Now it spins freely. That already looks fantastic. Everything down below is fine. Now that this is repaired, let's reassemble the Yulesteiner Brewery. Okay, so I'm going to be using my low temp hot glue today, and I'm going to be doing a bead of glue around the base of the mechanism. The reason I'm using low temp hot glue is I want to be able to take this part out again if necessary, and I'm still concerned that the T10 gear that I used is going to cause this figure to squeak, which will drive me nuts, and I will come back in and change it back out. Now, putting this back in, there are 2 things that you have to be on the lookout for. The first is the clearance for the barrels in the center. If this isn't evenly spaced all the way around, it will catch on the Yulesteiner Brewery and either stop and or cause premature wear on the gears. The other part is dealing with the spinning barrels on the side. Those drive shafts come up and there are 2 holes on the side. Now, you have to line those up just right in order for them to come through so everything seats properly on the bottom of the Yulesteiner Brewery. Then you can reattach the barrels by just simply popping them back on. Now, as for the orientation of the spinning barrels on the right-hand side, it may take a couple of times to get them right in the right orientation, just so they're not slapping each other as they go around. Now, I'm going to put a little bit more glue in here. Use my finger to hold it in place. We're going to go ahead and turn that on. So as you can see, I had an even gap of the barrels in the center all the way around. The barrels on the right-hand side seem to be fine. And I'm just going to hold this in place and let the glue cure. Let's go ahead and turn it back on. So yes, perfectly even spacing all the way around. If this is, again, too close to the edge, it will catch and it will cause a problem. I'm going to go ahead and let the glue dry for a few more moments before I reattach the foam bottom, and then we can move on to the final reveal. Let's take a quick look at the before, and now, the after. And here it is, the Yulesteiner Brewery, fully repaired back to original factory condition. I'm really happy to have this piece. I got it for a phenomenal price because it was for parts or broken on eBay. So tell me, what did you think about this project? Is there anything that you would have done differently in the process? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Definitely looking forward to doing another video on this where I dress this piece for Christmas, because it's not. If you like this video, like and subscribe for more. Happy holidays, and thanks for watching the Lemax Yulesteiner Brewery Repair. If you like this video, check out some of my others. And as always, like and subscribe for more.